Waiting. 54 miles. Come on, baby. Let's see what you got. You go tight. You got tight.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I know for us it's fun, and it's not so much fun for the rookie receivers when we see them coming into the league and we're going to training camps. You see them working on getting 2 feet down instead of 1. But the best ones train in college trying to get 2 down instead of 1, so the transition's a little bit less. In this case, though, wasn't able to complete it anyway.
It's a gain of just a couple there, but it's enough to get them the first. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
The throw right sideline here is complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Right about 20 yards on the pickup. Officially, they'll say it's going to go for 19. Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
54.
They go back to the ground with Johnson. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
On fourth down on now is the lefty Ryan Allen to punt. Back deep is a very dangerous Mike Hughes. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go. Touch the outlaw. Hey, calm down. Hey, let's go. You.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the...
The tackle by Jelani Tavai. A gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 21-yard line.
2nd and 9 now from the 21.
Come get some. Come on here. Come get some.
Here's Taylor to throw. Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
Extra point good by Prater. And it's now a 7-0 game. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Back to the air, Taylor after the pick six. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. Good throw there to start the second possession, maybe help erase the memory of the interception he threw first possession.
Yeah, I think a lot of the time now there's a communication between the head coach, offensive coordinator, quarterback's coach. All right, we got to get him settled. It's not easy after you've thrown a pick six. You might want to just run the football, but I think in most cases you want to give him easy throws that he's comfortable with to get him going again. And it's not necessarily just throwing one or 2 yards. What throws does he like to make? Give him a couple of those and get him going.
Definitely looked like one he was comfortable with on the last throw. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the pistol, they run it with Cook. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 35-yard line.
On 2nd and 12, Taylor. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he is going to lose yardage here. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
A good return there, 17 yards, and the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. In on the stop, Vernon Hargreaves.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. They'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a first down.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position, everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner. With good timing, you get a completion, as we just saw there.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
I'm coming after you.
Hey, Haywood.
58.
Now on 2nd and 13. Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Lawrence Guy breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Double right.
That's the end of the first quarter with the score Lions 7, Vikings nothing.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Check the hot read. Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4.
Out of the gun, Stafford. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jason Verrett, and he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
Stop your whining.
After the interception, here's Taylor. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And he'll get it down here to the 43.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Taylor. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They couldn't contain Deshaun Hand that time as he gets home for the sack. 3rd and long, it's Taylor. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Oh, and I think he went backward. He did. A wall of bodies there. Nowhere to burrow through the line on the quarterback sneak. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they've got themselves a 7-0 lead here, but that, you recall, was a defensive touchdown, so still nothing as of yet for this offense.
Well, they're happy to have the lead. We got to cut them a little bit of slack. It's still early enough, just a couple of drives so far, but if this one goes nowhere, those adjustments that we talk about, they shouldn't wait for halftime. They should go ahead and start working on them right now.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Monday.
Now Stafford. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, Those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. On 3rd down, Taylor. And he's able to find Diggs. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 42.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So they go from one 42-yard line to the other as they come up now 1st and 10. Nowhere to get away, and down he goes. Taylor is sacked. Deshaun Hand able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now Taylor. And this is Parker, complete. A nice pickup there, 19 yards. And they're set up better for 3rd.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. To throw is Taylor. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. So much for the run on 3rd and 1. Instead, it's a big chunk in the pass game. First down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. 4 yards on the pickup, and it's a 2nd down. Again, it's Taylor. And he's got it. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point, because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards, as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Stay 50, stay 50. Hey, echo.
Now it's Stanford. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Galladay. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
180.
Check right 54. Right 54. Defense wins championship, man.
On first down, Stafford here. Screenplay, Johnson. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll make this a 2nd and long.
Michael,
Set. Blue 60.
coming this way, coming this way. Here we go, here we go. Here we go.
To the air again, Stafford. And his throw is incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
He's not going to get me. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
Again, it's Stafford. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28. Well, this was a 14-0 game not too long ago. Things were looking pretty good. Then you give up the touchdown on the last drive. Now the interception.
So that's a lesson in trying to stay vigilant, isn't it? You have to stay on top of things. Can't relax too much because, as you noted, things change. Now they've got to go out there and get a spark going again and try and slow down this comeback.
And oh, look at that, a diving catch. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. From midfield now, here's Taylor. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Pick it up, guys. Pick it up. 51 is Mike.
Now Taylor to throw. And Diggs has it. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Out of bounds just past midfield.
What is that? Mike 51. Mike 51. Here we go. Here we go.
On 3rd down, Taylor. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
Omaha, ready, move.
Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. Flushed out right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation.
It's going to be a long day. Mark 55, Mark 55.
Stafford. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. 23 yards, the final tally.
It's a gain of 23 yards. First down, Lions.
So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. A first scoring update now from Carolina. And it's the NFC champs, the Falcons, that have moved down to an early advantage. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Deshaun Hand able to record his 5th sack of the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Hey, let's go. Calm the crowd. So don't say nothing.
Another try after the first down sack. Taylor going deep here for Parker. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Taylor hit. He lost the football, and this is scooped up by the Lions. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. It gained really good yardage, but that's what you... Tell your quarterbacks, right, get down after you've got the run.
You don't have to prove your toughness. I think that's what a lot of coaches are trying to preach to their guys. Get the yardage, get down, protect the football, and protect yourself from extra hits as well.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Again, it's Johnson. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
But they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
And it's 3rd down.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down.
Hey, follow!
The shotgun snap for Stafford. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Lawrence Guy picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. So they come out of the locker room trailing, but plays like that, they won't be trailing much longer. Defense really starting out well this second half.
Yeah, they knew they had to jumpstart things a little bit. They really struggled in the first half trying to slow them down, but now they had a plan, made that adjustment that we always talk about, and it worked very well on that play.
At their own 20-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here, and sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Looking to throw on second down. Taylor. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. Taylor now 14 out of 17, 82%. And it's 1st and 10. Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. 3rd and long. Taylor and company hoping to regroup after the sack. From the shotgun, it's Taylor. And the pressure gets to him again.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And now it's the punter Weil on as he sends this one away. Great blocking, nearly sprung in there. 28-yard return. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10.
250, 22. 54. We own them. We own them.
Right there. 54. Right there. Right there.
Stafford on first down. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
Let's go.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hey, I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
32. 0. Smooth.
To throw is Stafford. He'll let this go for the end zone. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On second down, Johnson. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Mike 5-4. Mike 5-4. Mike 5-4.
Stafford on 3rd down. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. They have the first down with that gain of 4 yards. Stafford now 9 of 17 through the air. Not a great percentage, but it is 1st and 10. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4.
Here we go, D.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
All day, every day, any day. Trump. 51's the mic, 51's the mic. Watch the back, watch the back.
To throw on third down, Taylor. He's going to let one go deep for... He's got him in, complete. The 20. 10, touchdown, Vikings. Devontae Parker, 77 yards, as they can now even this game here in the fourth quarter with the extra point.
The receivers have been running them ragged, maybe some tired legs in the secondary, maybe some tired legs in the pass rush. Didn't get to it, and look what resulted. A touchdown, tie game. They've got a chance to take the lead.
A very important extra point there, up and good. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this fourth quarter. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Let's go!
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. 3 yards on that last run, so here is 2nd and 7 from the 28. Now Stafford. He gets this one to Johnson. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Third down turns to first with that 5-yard pickup. Hasn't been his best afternoon on the ground, far from it, but a critical third down conversion.
His afternoon just got better. All right, you're exactly right. It hasn't been his best in terms of yardage, but that run there, that's the one your teammates look to you and go, okay, that's what we want from you. That's what we need. Now they have a chance to keep moving forward and a chance to win the game.
Stafford throws complete to Galladay, and they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand.
And this is caught, and he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon, and the Lions have taken the lead. Prater for the extra point, and the lead is now 21-14. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go up and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A very solid gain of 27. Now Taylor on first down. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line.
Let's go!
He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. They'll throw on first down to Taylor. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job.
And got his man complete. It's a big play there for the Lions. 42 yards. Charles, you talk so much about quick change plays. There's one right there. You get the turnover, and boom, hit him with a big one.
The defenses plan for this all the time. They work on it in practice. But in the middle of the game, when that quick change takes place, oftentimes guys aren't as focused as they need to be.
2 yards that time. A stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down.
55. Right there in the middle. 50. Hey, box truck.
Throwing is Stafford. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Vernon Hargraves with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Taylor now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now Taylor. It gets it into the arms of Parker. Complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there of 20 yards. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. Damon Harrison, the one on the stop. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. Nothing open downfield. They went underneath.
Yeah, see if you can get it to your running back. See if you can make someone miss in the open field.
Throwing now is Taylor. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Now it's Taylor. And this is Parker, complete. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Back to throw. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute.
And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down 1. That extra point is not a gimme.
A very important extra point there, up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive.
Let's go.
Alert!
Now Stafford. That's to his running back, Kerryon Johnson. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Stafford now to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of, it's caught inside the 25. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. Final whistle blows, and we need some extra time here to decide who will be the victor.
60 minutes, just not enough some days to decide who's going to win the game.
And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're set for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team. And that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Hey, give me a radar. Check. Bravo. 54.
Here we go. Let's bring it.
First throw in overtime for Stafford. He's going to float this one deep. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters, what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for the Lions, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at Soldier Field with the Chicago Bears. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.